In the late 70s, two men known as William Afton and Henry Emily created a business. This business was known as Fredbear's Family Diner, where they featured two singing animatronics known as Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. These animatronics featured new technology at a time designed by William called spring locks. These spring locks allowed the animatronic robot skeleton inside, to be cranked back and worn as a costume, so it functioned as both a costume and an animatronic. This spring lock technology is very sensitive and could be activated just by moisture. When activated, the spring locks will proceed to snap the animatronic endoskeleton back into place. When these accidents happen, these were called spring lock failures. Henry Emily and William Afton both had children of their own. Henry had one daughter named Charlie, and William had three children: Elizabeth Afton, Michael Afton, and Evan Afton, Michael being the older one. William, being one of the main designers of the suits, knew that they were dangerous, so would keep his children away from them no matter the cost. In one of the cases, his youngest son, Evan Afton, William would use tactics in order to scare Evan, make Evan scared of these animatronics. Michael would even use the mascots that Evan loved in order to scare Evan. William encouraged this because it would only make Evan more scared, and he would not be wanting to go near the animatronics, therefore keeping him safe. Later down the line, the Fredbear Family Diner got so popular in the local hurricane area that a TV show from local broadcasting was made, a low-budget animated show called Fredbear and Friends, in which the two existing characters got updates, now known as Freddy Fazbear and Just Bonnie, and two new characters are added known as Foxy and Chica. This show was also very popular, so a new restaurant was opened called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that existed alongside Fredbear's Family Diner, which Freddy Fazbear Pizza featured all four of the animatronics. Eventually, the trauma that William and Michael put Evan through via scaring him using the mascot so he would be safe led to him getting nightmares at night every night up until his very birthday. His birthday is an important event in this history because on that night in 1983, on Evan's birthday, Michael and a couple of his buddies grab Evan as some sort of prank and put him in Fredbear's mouth, unknowing of how dangerous these animatronics were. Of course, Evan, being stricken by the incident, cries and cries, unfortunately activating the spring locks to snap into place and crushing Evan's skull. Evan still has life in him, though. As he's being rushed to the hospital, Michael and William attempt to communicate to him using the very same mascot plushie that William put a walkie-talkie in order to communicate with his son. Michael tells him he's sorry, and then when William gets on the line, talking through the very mascot, he says, "We're still your friends, right? We'll put you back together." Unknowing what this means, Evan subsequently dies from this incident. Of course, William, losing his youngest son, is slowly driven mad by the incident that took in place. He tries to experiment with his knowledge of robotics and tries to quote-unquote put them back together as he said he would do, whatever that means. He tries putting his dead body inside of the Fredbear suit in hopes to bring him back to life of sorts. Whatever magic works in this universe, his soul now possesses the Fredbear suit. William is made aware of this. William, now obsessed with the idea of bringing people back to life using this method of putting their souls within the very same animatronics that he built, creates a new set of animatronics known as the Funtime animatronics, which consists of Ballora, Circus Baby, Funtime Foxy, and Funtime Freddy. These animatronics were built with a specific purpose in mind, which was luring, trapping, capturing kids within them, and killing them, which would lead to them possessing the very same robots. With all this intended feature, William made it so that the robots would detect the exact amount of people in the room, and when there was only one child in the room, they would release a claw from their stomach and subsequently scoop said child and suffocating them to death. Now, with these robots fully finished, William opens a new sister location of the Freddy Fazbear's franchise known as Circus Baby's Pizza World. On the very first day of it opening, though, Elizabeth has a very fascinating interest with the baby animatronic and is repeatedly warned not to go near it by her father. Of course, Elizabeth, being the little girl that she is, just wanders up to her, and when she's in the room alone, she's lured with ice cream and scooped and killed. William, distraught of the death of his only daughter, shuts down the location on its first day and blames it on gas leaks. Henry, knowing better that the location would not shut down on the first day due to the gas leaks, he investigates what happened. Of course, when Henry finds out that William has been building animatronics with the sole purpose of killing children, he gets upset. He does not alert the authorities due to William already suffered enough through the death of two of his children. So he kicks William out of the business. Henry now owns the Fazbear Entertainment, a company spawned after these location. William, kicked out of the business, forms his own company known as Afton Robotics. After parting their ways, William created a underground storage facility in which he would keep the Funtime animatronics and would store and rent them out. Henry, on his own, created the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location. The other two locations were shut down, and the animatronics used there were kept in the back storage. The new animatronics, made with a shinier, glossier look, were also connected to a criminal database to detect and alert criminals, and also William specifically in mind to keep William out of the restaurant, because who knows what William would do if he got his hands on animatronics again. Also, paranoid, Henry created an extra animatronic known as the puppet or marionette for the sole purpose of protecting Charlie, his daughter. One day at this location, Charlie gets locked out of a birthday party in the rain outside the restaurant. Of course, William, seeing this as a chance of revenge, drives up and notices Charlie and subsequently murders Charlie and leaves her body in the back alley due to the puppet not being able to protect her, being locked inside. The puppet eventually makes their way outside and short circuits due to all the heavy rain on Charlie, and Charlie now possesses the puppet. William, after murdering Charlie, now has a bloodlust for killing children. He poses as a security guard for the new Freddy Fazbear's location and uses the old spring-lock Bonnie suit in the back to lure children to the back and subsequently kill them. After killing them, not knowing what to do, he simply hides all 5 of the children he killed inside the animatronics, the old rotting ones in the back. 1 for Freddy, 1 for Chica, 1 for Foxy, and 1 for Bonnie. There's an extra one, but not knowing what to do and not wanting to be caught, he puts the 5th one within the Golden Freddy costume, the same one that his son Evan was possessing. William, being one of the sole persons accused for these missing children, but not being prosecuted due to no evidence of him murdering the children due to their bodies not being found. And William is now a free man and subsequently disappears. Michael, wanting to know what happened to his father, goes to Freddy Fazbear's locations knowing that he was connected to them in some way, interns as a night guard at these locations. The new security features mistake him for William and attempt to attack him, and the old decrepit animatronics in the back also attempt to attack him, seeing him as their killer. After spending 5 nights at this job, on the 5th night he is fired for tampering with the animatronics and odor. The day after Michael is fired due to tampering with the animatronics, a new security guard is hired. This security guard was asked to attend a birthday party in which they would watch the animatronics. Of course, him being really close to the animatronics, one of the animatronics bit his frontal lobe off. He is carried to the hospital and dies in the hospital. This event is known as the bite of 87 and is often confused with the bite of 83, in which Evan died in. After Michael is fired from his job as a security officer, he finds an old storage unit used for containing the old animatronics that his father would use. Thinking his father might be there, he ventures down into the storage unit and finds that the Funtime animatronics. After spending multiple nights there looking for his father, being commanded by the Funtime animatronics, they use a machine known as the scooping machine in order to scoop the endoskeletons outside them and form an entity known as Ennard, a hive mind of sorts of all four Funtime animatronics. They put Michael in the scooping machine, scooping out a cavity within him, and which Ennard crawls inside and proceeds to wear Michael as a skin puppet of sorts. Ennard, using Michael as a skin puppet, proceeds to go out into the real world and parade around. Unknowing what bodies do when they are dead, Michael's body begins to rot, and Ennard subsequently leaves his body. Being that the series that it is, after Ennard leaves Michael's body just to rot on the sidewalk, Elizabeth tells Michael through some spiritual means that he will not die. Michael, of course, proceeds to live no matter his lack of organs or bones. Sometime Henry decides to shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Currently, there are no restaurants open at the time. The new toy animatronics are soon to be scrapped, and the old ones are being kept in the back still. The old dilapidated Freddy Fazbear building gains dust and whatnot. William, attempting to right his wrongs or some reason, goes back to the old location and takes an axe and proceeds to break the old withered animatronics, of course setting the souls free. Them, saying they're very killer, decides to torment Michael throughout the restaurant, them chasing him around. He finds an old safe room in the back in which the old Spring Bonnie location, the very same one he used to kill these children, and he hides in it and thinking that would do something. Of course, this old dilapidated location being very moist due to rain and the ceilings not being the best. Of course, the spring locks go off, snapping into place, impaling William everywhere. William bleeds out and dies. Henry, finding William's dead carcass within the Spring Bonnie suit, just decides to seal off this back room and forget about this place for a long time. Years later, the myth of Freddy Fazbear is alive within the Hurricane, Utah community. It is somewhat of a spooky legend in which were 5 children gone missing and no one knows what happened to them. In order to capitalize off this very myth, one man creates a location known as Fazbear Frights out of the old dilapidated location. After seeing this open, Michael decides to intern for a security job there, knowing that he'll probably find his father there. Of course, on night 2 of this place being open, they find an old animatronic in the back. Not knowing of the dead serial killer within the animatronic, they put him out for display anyways. Michael, immediately recognizing that yes, this is his father, endures 5 nights at this location, and at the end of the night, he burns down the location, trying to subsequently end his father. After burning down the location, Michael, attempting to kill his father, did not, and William escapes to the sewer or somewhere like that, proceeds to salvage himself down there, while though not his attempts being completely useless, he lets the souls of the 4 remaining animatronics pass on to the afterlife. In the sewer system, presumably where all of the current animatronics that are still alive are hanging out, Ennard, the hive mind, decides to kick out Baby, probably for reasons being them being their killer's daughter, but also probably because she's a control freak. She gets kicked out and attempts to rebuild herself using scrap parts found in the sewer. Ennard, trying to find a new identity, uses other scrap parts found in the sewer, keeping themselves less together as usual, more resembling spaghetti, creates something resembling Freddy known as Molten Freddy. Henry, knowing of the abundance of animatronics rolling about in the sewer, decides to finally put an end to this. He opens a new location, promptly named Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, in which he plans to lure the 4 animatronics. He knew that 3 of them would come easily, but one would not be interested, that being his own daughter, Charlie, possessing the puppet. He creates a new animatronic known as Lefty, specifically in order to lure and capture the puppet using lullaby music and other sounds. Michael, using his now natural instinct, signs up for the managerial position at the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, or to find his father again, knowing that he survived the whole fire that he started. Now, after spending 5 nights at this location and Michael chilling in the vents, recruiting these animatronics that's chilling around left in the back alley, Michael chilling in the vents on Saturday, Henry decides to put an end to all of this, and he gives his epic speech and he lights the place on fire, therefore ending 5 Nights at Freddy's.